CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. A body has been found inside a shed in Sooke. Two individuals found the body around 1:30 this afternoon in a shed near the home of Robert Derrick, otherwise known as Bonsai Bob. The BC Coroner Service arrived to the large-scale shed around 3:30. Sooke RCMP have the area behind police tape. Wanda-Fuqua search and rescue teams were in the area this morning, continuing the search for Robert Derrick. Robert Derrick was scheduled to enter plea in court this week on 2 counts of sexual assault with young boys, but he did not show up for his appearance. The 74-year-old has been missing since Tuesday after a concerned friend reported him missing.
We're just finishing up the search for Mr. Derrick here at the Sooke potholes when we were approached by 2 individuals who indicated that they found the remains of a human not far from where we were searching for Mr. Derrick. Police have now cordoned off the area and are waiting for the assistance of our forensic guidance section. The coroner service is on scene, and we're still in the preliminary investigation of this sudden death.
Police will not say if the body is Derrick's. Foul play is not suspected. The 2 individuals who found the body were not part of the organized search effort. Police say friends of Derrick were near the shed and in the area and were visibly upset. Earlier this week, police began their search near the shed, but say the body never turned up.
When we first received the missing persons report on Tuesday, this was the first area that was searched by a police dog. We had our own police officers out on foot scouring the area, as well as ground search and rescue. Our police officers even returned here later in the week and did a second sweep on foot, and obviously they didn't find Mr. Derrick at that time.
Does it make it suspicious that a body has been found in this area after extensive search?
Well, it's quite possible we missed him the first time we looked, but this will be all part of the follow-up investigation that we do now.
The body is expected to be removed from the area by the end of the night. The matter is under investigation. It's been nearly 2 years since 22-year-old Brittany Baird was murdered in a park in Nanaimo. The 2 men accused in the death were scheduled to appear in court this Monday, but yesterday one of the men was set free. Marcus Brandon Perry was let go after co-accused Christopher James Robinson pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. As CTV's Jet Bassey reports, Baird's family is shocked.
Lacey Schaefer is shocked that the man accused of killing her sister-in-law, Brittany Baird, is now walking free.
I wish he was actually beside Chris, serving time.
2 years ago, Nanaimo RCMP found Brittany Baird's body near Nob Hill Park on Shelby Street. She was brutally murdered.
I've never heard a scream like that before in my life.
She was stabbed to death. Police arrested 2 men for the murder.
Christopher James Robinson and Marcus Brandon Perry, age 24, both from Nanaimo, were arrested for first-degree murder.
The trial was to begin on Monday, but during Friday's court proceedings, Robinson pleaded guilty of second-degree murder. Charges against the co-accused Marcus Perry were stayed.
I'm actually glad that he pled guilty, and I hope all justice will be served for all Baird's family and friends. But about Marcus Perry, about how the charges got dropped, I am not happy about that. I wish he was actually beside Chris, serving time, because he was an accomplice.
Lacey says the justice system has failed Brittany. She wanted to see both men remain behind bars.
I wish that he has to sit in the cell with Chris and just rot in there.
Perry has been released and is a free man. Robinson will remain in jail. He's facing life with an eligibility of parole.
Honestly, I wish he did get life with no parole, because it's a young mother that he took away from us.
Robinson will be back in court next month for sentencing. Crown and defense lawyers will make submissions about the appropriate parole eligibility period. Lacey says the Baird family will be there for sentencing and for every parole hearing to ensure that Brittany gets the justice she deserves. Jet Bassey, CTV News, Nanaimo.
You may not have noticed it, but the price at the pump spiked overnight in Greater Victoria. Did you do a double take when pulling up to the pump today? Gas prices in Greater Victoria jumped 14 cents from 121.9 cents a litre to 135.9, and in some cases 136.9 cents a litre. It means a 40-litre tank of gas will now cost you almost $6 more.
Yeah, things are getting tight. People have less spending money, and when situations like this happen, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all, you know.
You could save up that money just by not buying a certain type of food every week. I think it's all in how you look at it.
Crazy prices, but we need gas.
You think it's high?
Oh yeah, definitely. Money doesn't go far these days.
Now, if you were sniffing out some deals, not many to be found. According to VictoriaGasPrices.com, the cheapest gas in Victoria was up as well at 129.9 cents a litre. Think it's high. In Vancouver, gas prices peaked today at $1.49.9 cents per litre. For updates on gas prices, you can go to VictoriaGasPrices.com. Provincial election events are in full swing this weekend, with both parties holding pre-campaign gatherings. The Liberals pulled the curtain back on nearly 50 candidates at a downtown Vancouver hotel today. One by one, the candidates introduced themselves to a room full of party faithful. The Premier was there also. In her address, she discussed the budget, which has received mixed reviews since being released this week.
We have an opportunity in this election to make a difference for future generations like we never have before. We have a generational chance here, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make change. And we started that this week when Mike DeYoung, our finance minister, delivered us a balanced budget.
Tomorrow, the NDP are scheduled to hold a similar rally with its candidates. The province has launched a new program in an effort to make sure all BC residents have a family doctor by the year 2015. The program will start on April 1st and enable doctors to consult with patients by phone if they're dealing with chronic conditions. Doctors will also get more funding to take more patients with complex medical conditions such as cancer. Health Minister Margaret McDermott says so far, pilot projects in the Cowichan Valley and White Rock have matched 9,000 patients with family doctors. A funeral will be held tomorrow for Emily Morin and her boyfriend Mark Mitchell, two of the three victims in last weekend's Johnson Street house fire. Earlier this week, friends launched a fundraising campaign to help the Morin family finance tomorrow's service. Yesterday, the PayPal account was closed after nearly $4,000 was raised. A trust fund called For the Johnson Street Fire Victims is still open at all Van City branches. The money raised will go towards the surviving roommates as well as the three families who lost loved ones. Tomorrow's service is at 2 o'clock at the Friendship Community Church in Central Saanich. Supporting seniors in fighting identity theft, two causes came together in a Saanich parking lot this morning. A steady flow of boxes, many containing private documents, were sent to a mobile shredder outside of the Broadmead Care home. Broadmead Care organized the first annual Shred-a-thon to help people destroy the mounds of unwanted mail and private documents that build up in many of our homes. Broadmead Care says events such as this help combat increasing fear and identity theft.
I think that's really prevalent and has been for the last 10 years with the onset of the internet. So a lot of people are really nervous about information that can be taken and used by somebody else to create an identity with their own name on it.
Also on hand today, the perfect partner for a shredding event, Luigi the Lovebird. You may remember our story on Luigi, the paper shredder and card entrepreneur who was gearing up for an audition on the Dragon's Den. Luigi ended up landing a deal, and his cards can now be found in Hallmark stores.
He's more high maintenance than ever. He's like a monster, but the cutest monster. He's great. He's just great.
How much shredding has Luigi been doing since he finished on Dragon's Den?
Well, he takes breaks now and then, but he's been shredding up a storm, so it's so cute. Sometimes he'll be shredding and I'm working, and I'll be like, hey, we're working together, Luigi. Good for you. Thanks a lot.
McQueen says the business is doing well, and the next plan is to get Luigi's cards into the U.S. Donations from today's Shred-a-thon event will go to support Broadmead Care, which provides support for hundreds of war veterans and seniors with disabilities. Victoria's City Hall had its doors open today for International Open Data Day. The event, also known as A hackathon is a day for people to use open online data to help make more meaningful applications. The City of Victoria says it's working on turning public documents into online data that can be used by everyone.
Increasingly, residents demand access in a fast and quick way to the information that helps make government run. They are government. They own the information. They should have access to it as quickly and easily as possible. And this is the first day that we've had an opportunity to really see the beginning of the open data catalog pages on the new website, which launched yesterday. And this is the beginning of what will be an endless and ongoing upgrade and update of information available to the public.
In the coming weeks, the city says it plans to roll out its new web mapping system that will include multi-layered maps. In the spring, the city hopes to web stream all of its city council meetings. Welcome back. The latest fad in exercising and athletic rehabilitation is starting to make splashes right here on Vancouver Island. It involves a form of hydrotherapy with a specialized underwater treadmill used to shed pounds and rehab injuries. But as CTV's Chandler Grieve shows us tonight, what makes this unique is these clients don't have 2 legs, they have 4.
We've all likely seen a dog paddle before, but have you ever seen one run underwater?
The hydrotherapy is just a whole new level.
Taking Fido for a walk around the block just seemed so last year. Treadmills, jets, and personal trainers are taking over, putting pooches through intense cardio workouts.
So if we talk about going to the pool, she always shakes like she knows she's going, and at the end she's tuckered out, kind of like this.
This pool cost $80,000 to build. It's the only one on the island that offers a heated swimming area and an adjustable treadmill for dogs of all shapes and sizes.
I started out about 35 years ago, and this would have been unheard of then, and now people want to do it. And the interesting fact is the resistance is about 12 times what you get on land. So if they do a 5-minute treadmill at 2.5 miles an hour, that's like them going 2.5 miles on land.
Sorry, Mama's right here.
Miles first came to the pool to shed some unwanted baggage.
He kind of looked like a pork roast when we started, and now he's got a waist, so.
In 2 years, the Yorkie has lost nearly 2 kilograms. It might not sound like a lot to us humans, but the average Yorkie only weighs about 3 kilograms. Robin had ligament damage in one of her knees, and much like a rehabbing athlete, she uses the pool to regain strength.
Well, in the pool, there's no weight bearing on the knees, so she can exercise harder and longer.
The canine fitness industry is becoming more competitive. You could say it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and staff at the Oceanside Animal Hospital hope this pool will make a big splash for business.
And they seem kind of in shock that, oh, this is an option and it is available on the island, and it is something that's not very common around here, so us having that is really popular.
It costs $50 per session for dogs to take the plunge, but staff say they guarantee one thing: your pet dog tired when it's all done. Chandler Grieve, CTV News, Parksville.